Hey y'all, it's your girl Didi and we're back with another video. Welcome to Mom Unity, my mom community, my mom village, the place where first-time mom, five-time mom, 20-time mom, grandmas, aunties, whoever can feel comfortable knowing that this is a safe space where we talk about real mom stuff, like real things that I'm going through. You guys can get into the comment section and share what you're going through, your experiences, and let's have a time. Join the mom unity, guys. Join my mom unity. That name just tickles me. Anywho, today's video, I actually want to touch on a very somewhat controversial topic of sleep training. Now, baby girl is 5 months old, and as much as I heed the advice of my elders, you know, whether it's my mom or aunties and whoever, friends that have had kids who are older than my baby girl, I also like to do research. I like soaking up information. So anyways, again, first time mom, so I don't have anything to reference, right? But what's actually out there. So a lot of things online talk about like, oh, you should sleep train your baby as soon as like 4 months hit. By the end of 3 months into 4 months, your baby should be on the verge of being sleep trained, which means like you're doing that whole, the most common one I've seen, I'm not sure the name of it, I don't remember the name of it, is where for 3 nights in a row, because they typically say it takes 3 times for a baby to learn something, because obviously they're soaking up information. So when you go in, you put the baby to sleep and like you hush them, you rub their back, and then you leave. And when they cry, you go in after 5 minutes, and then after 10 minutes, like the time frame gets longer and longer. And then because you've done that for a couple nights, by night 3, the baby's like, you know what, what's the point of even crying? They're not gonna come, because they've noticed that the time frame has gotten longer and longer. So while I've read that and I've heard about like that type of sleep training, there are also a lot of research that contradicts that to say, and then as a psychotherapist, this is where I'm also like torn, because from a psychologist's point of view, they state that that is the beginning of a child abandonment, right? Because you're not there when they need you, and as babies, obviously they cannot function on their own, and they've had you, you know, throughout the day, and also for the first 3 to 4 months, depending on when you're going to implement this. And now all of a sudden you're saying to them, distance yourself from me. Like, it's almost like, I guess the best way I interpret it is like sudden breakup. Like, wait, what did I do? I didn't know that we were ending the relationship. I thought we were doing very well. So that's how I feel like some babies may be interpreting it, because depending on how you and your baby were sleeping, some of them are sleeping in the same bed with you, some of them are sleeping in the same room with you, and then all of a sudden it's just like, doop, gone. So I'm going to tell you some of the things that I've done. I would like to use the umbrella term and say that I did not sleep train. I don't think that I sleep trained my baby. I think that I just went with the flow and I just followed her lead, if I'm being extremely honest. Because a lot of sleep training too, it's like you set a bedtime for them, but sometimes you have to get the baby to a point where like the baby is tired. And if it's one thing we should notice about babies, they're really intelligent. I also found an article that said that the smartest human beings on the planet are newborns, because their neurons, their brain are shooting off so many things, and like they're soaking up so much information that they're able to, obviously they cannot articulate the knowledge they're receiving, but they're gaining so much. Just like when you see them, how they scan your face when their eyes clear up, and how they notice different voices and different sounds, like all of those things. So baby never slept in the bed with us. She always had a bassinet. So when my mom was here initially, like the bassinet would be going from room to room. So she had her own like space. Baby girl grew quickly, but baby girl also loves to do a lot of movement. So soon enough, like the bassinet just wasn't enough. And the transition from there was to her crib. Using the white noise machine and following her cues, right? So similar to like in the daytime, as much as I have an app that kind of also tracks her sleep-ish, that says like, oh, like around this time she'd be getting tired, but I also know that based on her age of 5 months, she will have like a max of a 2-hour wake period. Most of them, to be honest, are like an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes before she starts to show signs of like, hey, I'm tired. Sometimes even by an hour and 15 minutes, she's getting a little fussy. And I follow those cues. Similarly to bedtime. So when it's time to go to bed, if I know that she's had more half an hour naps throughout the day and like she did not get an hour nap, more than likely her bedtime routine may start earlier because then she'll start to rub her eyes. And I'm not sure if all babies do this because first time mom, right? And my nieces and nephews and little kids that I've been around, I've never been around them to this extent where like notice these things and like the progression and just how her mind is really working and learning how to do different things. So when she starts to rub her eyes or before the cry or the scream, I'm like, okay, we're winding down. And think of yourself, like when you start to wind down, like, and you don't get to go to bed at the time in which you want to go to bed, you get cranky, you get annoyed. But because we're older, we kind of know how to regulate, or at least we should know how to self-regulate. We can't expect babies to do that. And I think that's the piece that the psychologist is talking about when they say when you leave your child to cry it out, they're not at the space where they understand that you're crying, mommy and daddy are coming back, like we'll be back tomorrow, or we'll be back when you wake up in the middle of the night if you're waking up for feeds. They've received it as you disappear. Similar to when you play peekaboo with your baby, right? When you cover your face, babies actually think you disappeared. And that's why they get so excited when they see your face again. You don't have to listen to me. Do your research. Check these things out. You'll see that a lot of these things do impact their development. Now, I don't know how it impacts kids long term. I'm just going based off of what I've seen and also based on my child's current age. So, summary or long and short of my story. I have not sleep trained. I did not sleep train. I did not do, I guess, the traditional sleep training, and nor am I a stickler in the sense. I will say I am a stickler for her bedtime. So bath time is at 6. If for whatever reason she's more tired or she's tired earlier, bath time can be at 5:30. We can move it earlier. But typically it's not later unless like, you know, we're on the road or whatever. But between 5:36, she bathes and she goes to bed, because at that point she's showing signs that I need to go down. Like I've had a long 12-hour day and I'm spent, right? With all the things that she had to take in, with learning her ABCs or just being fascinated by her fingers, the way how babies stare at their fingers and their hands and they're like, oh, this thing, it like moves on its own and all this stuff. They're spent. So naturally they're gonna fall asleep. Some babies, as you know, I'm sure, will take a little bit longer. Some babies are Velcro babies. Like they like to be rocked a little bit and then be transitioned to whatever surface it is that they sleep on, whether it's bed or crib or bassinet. And for me as well, another tip I would add when I was transitioning baby from arm to crib, the difference in temperature, obviously because body heat. So when she would go on the crib, on the mattress, it would be a little chilly. So what I ended up doing, I took my receiving blanket, or her receiving blanket, and I'd have the receiving blanket on my arm. Look at my hair. Y'all watched the other video where I talk about postpartum hair loss. Anyways, the receiving blanket on my arm, and then baby in my arm. Rock, rock, rock. When I'm transitioning baby now, I transition with the receiving blanket, but for a moment. By the time she gets up for her first feed, the receiving blanket can be removed. I found that worked for me because whether it is the warmth of the receiving blanket or the fact that the receiving blanket also has mommy's smell on it, something about it gave me some longer stretches than what it was doing before. For all I know, maybe that's not even why, and I've really just been getting to a point where I'm really tiring the baby out. Whatever it is, my thing, if it ain't broke, I ain't gonna fix it. If it is working, we thank the Lord, because again, they can't articulate, so they can't state what they're experiencing or what they need, so we just have to figure it out. And that's why I said, if we find something that works, we're gonna stick to it. And yeah, so no real sleep training over here. So if you find that you feel like, oh my goodness, you know, everything out there is saying sleep train the baby, sleep train the baby, and you don't think that that will work for your baby, follow your baby's cues. Like just like how they tell you when they're full, whether they're breastfeeding or they're on bottle, and they take the bottle or the nipple out of their mouth, they'll tell you when they're tired. They know their bodies, and it's so amazing to see that process take place. I mean, from birth, they know when to take themselves off the nipple or the bottle when they're full. So if you continue to just trust that and also hone in on that skill set, I think you'll be set. I think you'll be fine. But again, I am not a sleep trainer or a sleep coach. If you want to go and get your own sleep trainer or your own sleep coach, I will not stop you. I'm just saying, as for me and my house and what we've done with baby girl, it's just follow her cues. She knows what she knows. And we're at the point where she's getting up just for food. So if she goes down by 6, she's up at 11, and then 4, so 11 p.m., 4 a.m., and then 7 a.m., and the day starts, like 6:45 sometimes, and the day starts. And then we go until, bath time, and go back to sleep, and the cycle continues. We're doing pretty good, especially since we're coming from cluster feeding and being up every 2 hours, because baby girl said, I just want to grow. Love that for her, but for me, not so much. We were tired. But yeah, if you have any questions about sleep training, or at least what I've done, not specific or not general sleep training, what I've done with my baby girl, or what I found to work, or if I did not mention something and you're like, oh, did you also try this? What sound machine did you use, or whatever the case is. Sound machine also with the red light, because apparently there's something with the red light. But yeah, anything you want to know, drop it in the comment section. If you look in my description box, there's also an email section, an email address. If you don't want your business on road, you can send an email to me privately. You could send a DM on the Instagram page or on the Facebook page. I promise I will check these things out. And yeah, because in this mom community, we help each other. Okay. I do want to foster a space where no matter what the question is, it's like, I have nipple trauma, because I had it. I don't know what to do with my baby. How do I switch to formula because my supply decreased? Or how do I increase my supply? Like, all of those things. Like, I just want it to be a safe space for all moms to come together and just share. So till the next video, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click the bell so you're notified when I drop another video. And guys, are you paying attention? Because there's a video every week. And however many weeks left of the year, I'm really hoping to be consistent. I have to say, this is the most consistent I've ever been, ever. It's crazy because I'm consistent and I have a whole child to take care of. So yeah, but I'm really determined to put out like substantial content on motherhood, and I want to also move into maybe vlogging my days. We'll see, because I feel like vlogs are a little bit more intricate and I don't want to have an everlasting video, so we'll see. But yeah, join the mom unity. To join the mom unity, simply subscribe. As this mom unity takes off, I think I might do like an email list, or like just different content, like, hey, X month baby, this blah blah blah, like whatever the people need, we will provide through mom unity. Yeah, so see you in the next video. Love you, bye. Or what's another one? Where bye. That's phenomenal, that's baby, but we're not actually gonna do that. Oh, baby's up, bye. We like that.